Hello, everyone. My name is Moonshine, and I'm the host of today's AMA with LogX. And it's going to be a very unique one because LogX Network is a decentralized finance super app offering a comprehensive suite of financial products, including perpetuals, options, pre-market trading, and spot trading. So we're going to delve in each of those utilities to see how they are designed for crypto enthusiasts seeking fast and secure infrastructure. So we have the team from LogX here on the mic with us. So to start with, Bodio, could you kindly introduce yourself and the team behind LogX? And you could as well walk us through the foundation and the history behind the project.
Got it. First of all, thanks for having me today here. And super excited to, like meet a lot of you folks here. I know the turnout has been phenomenal. I can see 118 participants, specifically, even though I think the markets are not so good. But without further ado, like just some quick context. Hey everyone, I am Akshat Bordia, founder of LogX, as well as a very core contributor to the LogX Foundation. With that being said, a quick introduction about LogX is that LogX essentially is a full stack exchange on chain, wherein we have a perps offering where we offer a bunch of exotic perps. We have an options offering where I think of course our options product is also super exciting. And then we have our sort of perps options pre-market offering, wherein you see these amazing pre-markets that are available on LogX before anybody else. And then we have a spot market, which is a CFD where you can get spot with zero sort of slippage, which is not even available even on Binance or some of the best exchanges out there. So it's a very unique product wherein I would say that we have recreated a better, more secure and self-custodial version of Binance, wherein the entire experience is dot by dot similar to Binance. So I think that's sort of the core innovation we have done. We have like sort of raised more than $10 million from Sequoia, Coinbase Ventures, Hash, IOSG, and a bunch of other folks, well-renowned industry folks. And what we essentially want to do, what we want to, like fundamentally focus on is taking this mission forward of creating an on-chain Binance and really doing it, and essentially sort of, bringing gasless experience, bringing a sort of high speed, high throughput trading experience on a platform which is like not available anywhere else in the entire like sort of I would say industry. So yeah, that's who we are, that's what we do, and very excited, as I said, to meet all of you, talk to all of you today. I want this to be very conversational in nature, so would love to get more and more questions, more and more thoughts from the community, and then yeah, I think that's a quick background of the journey. I think in terms of the other question you asked, which is the foundation of LogX. I think LogX has been born out of a core pain point that I myself had as a trader, which is there is no solution out there in the market which is as good as, let's say, centralized exchanges like FTX. Of course, that was a negative one, like let's say Binance and whatnot, which offers fair value to the community and is fair to the community. And at the same time, it offers the experience as good as Binance, right? Or as good as other centralized exchanges. So I think that has been our mission. That is something which drives us very, very deeply. And we've been, launching this product. We've been scaling this product. We're like right now live on 18 different chains. We have done close to $25 billion of trading volume. That's a big amount of trading, sort of, trust that our traders have or our users have shown on us. So yeah, that's a quick background of what we do and a very quick genesis of why we do what we're doing.
Thank you very much. I think that was a very great start to what you guys, the foundation of the project. So now let's move into the architecture of your network. So specifically, how do the decentralized node interpret user intents and determine optimal execution pathways? Like what mechanisms or protocols ensure the accuracy and efficiency of this process?
Got it. So I think I want to touch upon something even more fundamental in nature, which is the core architecture of the project is is very much designed with the true ethos of decentralization in nature, right? And what do I mean by that? And in fact, I want to, like throw in a bunch of ingredients because I think the core architecture has cooked over a period of time. Like this is not something which is like sort of which has come out in V1. I think this is the of course in crypto terms this is probably V100 of the product, and in terms of like real nomenclature we call it V2 of the product, wherein I think the product has three core amazing functionalities cooked into the core architecture. uh, Functionality number one, it's cross-chain cross margin by design, which means users can come in from any chain. Imagine there's a user from Arbitrum and there's a user from Ethereum, right? And then both of them want to come in, both of them want to, join in. Essentially, what would happen on both sides is that both of these users will sort of, come in on the platform. And the moment these users sort of, come in on the platform, they can start sort of getting different levels of or different sort of attributes of order matching in a single environment itself. So imagine a user coming from Arbitrum gets matched to the user coming from, let's say, base or something like that. So that's the fundamental innovation. Innovation number two, which is like, in my view, order of magnitudes bigger innovation than like the rest of the innovations, is that we have aggregated the liquidity. So one of the issues people have said in the market is, or in general, people call in decentralized exchanges, is that the liquidity is not that good. So what we did was we worked with a lot of solvers. We built our entire custom solver network, and then we went and partnered with a lot of centralized exchanges, a lot of, and essentially created a single order book. So now imagine the liquidity from Binance, OKX, Bybit, like all these amazing platforms are aggregated into a single solver network. And all these solvers provide liquidity to LogX, which enables and ensures that LogX has, if not like LogX has probably better sort of, spreads than most of the other products out there. So that's the second value prop with the product. And the third biggest value prop with the product. So A, as I mentioned, it's the cross-chain functionality. B, as I mentioned, is essentially the liquidity aspect of it. And C is, just creating a platform which is like razor quick, really fast. There's no gas fees involved. In fact, like LogX Foundation covers for 100% of the gas fees on the platform. And then like just creating a platform which is gasless, fast, quick, no pop-ups, works like a centralized exchange. So I think we've sort of inculcated all these three attributes in the product. We've created, as I mentioned, a fully on-chain exchange, which is not even, nobody has it in the market right now. We are the only ones who have pioneered this entire concept, built the product ground up. And I think, yeah, that's what we've been doing, and it's been an exciting journey so far.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you so much for walking us through the core architecture of LogX. So now let's move over to the account abstraction and smart accounts that you guys plan to integrate. So I see that LogX integrates account abstraction to create smart contracts for users. So how does the integration handle nonce management and transaction ordering to prevent replay attacks or other potential vulnerabilities in the smart contracts wallets?
So, couple of things, right? I think the architecture is like thought a bit ground up, right? Wherein, of course, you're right. The smart contract wallets have different sort of risks. The smart contract wallets have different sort of, problems altogether, and I totally agree with that. I think the way where we have done something truly remarkable and we have done something which is like really out of the box is that, creating a platform which has allowed a lot of users to access a single cross-chain account with different IDs. So I think it's like sort of, imagine in a traditional account abstraction setup, there's a master wallet, and that through that master wallet, there are different wallets connected. In the architecture of LogX, there's a master wallet, and through that wallet, there are a bunch of accounts connected, not wallets connected. So I think that's the core difference in the architecture. And that allows for all sorts of things. For example, security of one wallet does not compromise the security of second wallet because fundamentally at wallet level, consumers' keys are secure. Over and above that, of course, we have like multiple audits in place. So we have like more than four audits done, both internally and externally with different parties, different trusted parties you see in the market. And overall, the product is, like very, very well done. You see there are no bugs whatsoever. We also have a bug bounty program, which a lot of, amazing developers participate in. So yeah, that's pretty much how the product is designed, how the product is built out right now.
Interesting. So, I don't know, in the context of gasless trading enabled by the account abstraction, how does LogX manage to sponsor the gas fees at scales?
So I think of it this way. LogX is not sponsoring the gas fees. The LogX Foundation is sort of, paying for the user. So think of it this way. Whenever an account transaction happens, right, what happens is that uh, l- essentially the user is signing the transaction for the transaction to go through. And then the imagine like the processor which sort of, processes this transaction and registers it on the blockchain. This processor gets its gas fees from the LogX Foundation wallet instead of the consumer wallet, right? What that does at the core is that the user is just signing an account message or essentially a wallet message, which is of course free of cost. And in context of the user where the user had to pay that fees, the foundation is paying that fees to the transaction processor, which is matching the order, technically the matching engine. So I think that's how it works. And over and above that, of course, there are like multiple places where LogX Foundation pays a very very important role and price, which is, for example, we also settle a lot of these transactions on Ethereum L1. We're also going to settle this very soon on, let's say, Solana and whatnot. So I think all of these things will kick in, and I think like sort of get the entire sort of ecosystem a much bigger boost versus where it is right now. And at the core, I think the whole idea here is that LogX Foundation sort of wants to keep the entire transaction batching transaction experience very, very simple to use, very, very easy to use. And I think it's as a function of that, the foundation bears the cost of all transaction matching and transaction sort of, processing from the foundation's end.
Interesting. Interesting. Sorry about that. So thank you for clearing that out about the sponsorship and going into details how it actually works. So the next aspect of the project is about the liquidity of your project, because that is a very crucial aspect of every project, especially a project that deals with trading and all of that. So when you look at the aggregation of liquidity from top centralized exchanges for over 100 perpetual pairs, what mechanisms are in place to manage the risks associated with relying on external liquidity, such as API downtimes or like risk limit?
So see, here is the beauty of the solver network that we have built out. Fundamentally, there cannot be API downtimes, which is like a very catch 101 sort of situation. But B, I think the biggest point is we pull in these things from multiple exchanges. The network sort of, pulls in this information this data from multiple exchanges. And I think, like, in my view, that makes all the difference because if you pull in this information, if you pull in this context from like so many exchanges, so many sort of, directions, then it becomes a very different ball game uh, versus essentially anything else. So I think, yeah, that's how it is, right? And at the same time, I think the system has multiple backups built in. For example, let's say exchange A goes down, let's say, for discussion's sake. Then the price feed sort of auto switch lanes and auto switch sort of, price pulling from, exchange number two. That's like backup number one. Backup number two can also be, for example, let's say there is a user who's sort of, trading, right? What essentially happens is there is a price wick because of which the user might have gotten liquidated. We re-verify that price wick with multiple exchanges to ensure whether liquidation is right or not. And usually users get liquidated less on LogX compared to any of the other perp platforms out there. I think the ratio is a stark difference of 6:1. The third thing that happens with LogX is that LogX also sort of, has a fail-safe switch in terms of the solver network, wherein we have multiple solvers. Just in case solver one is not able to, do anything consequential. Then solver two kicks in, solver three kicks in. So I think that's how it is. That's how like things are at the core. But yeah, again, at the core, I would say that the system is like relatively complex because we have handled multiple edge cases, we've handled multiple elements, but the core product is very, very useful, very, very valuable, and has like honestly so many risk checks handled from the get-go.
Nice. The fact that, you're quite confident about not having API downtime and all of that shows that the team probably has strategically implemented things that would make sure that all round things move as it's supposed to. And I really appreciate that. I'm not really into, the technical aspect or whatever, but I mean, certain questions need to be asked because we have investors who are listening who might be delved into what you guys are offering way more than I am, okay? So one thing I saw is LogX offers chain agnostic trading by consolidating funds from multiple networks, correct? So
Yes.
how does the platform handle variations in block finality times and potential reorganization events across different chains to ensure consistency and reliable trading experience for investors?
I think it's a very wonderful question, but I think like we've already tackled this question with some of the other variants of LogX. So I'll tell you a simple example, right? In most of the perp dexes, specifically, let's say most of the perp platforms, the collateral is logged in when the trade opens. And when the trade closes, the collateral goes back to the consumer. So by design, when the collateral is logged in, there are certain price assumptions that are taken. And in that particular duration, the platform is taking that particular risk of block sort of, reorgs and a bunch of other things. At the core with LogX, what you see, when the aggregation of balances and everything kicks in, the beauty of the platform is, or the most interesting part of the platform is, that the platform really, really, like sort of picks the chain with a lot of trust. Like we don't integrate any chain which does not meet our security guidelines, which does not meet our code of ethics or sort of, team check guidelines. B, we have not seen any reorgs at this point in time, even though, of course, reorgs are fundamentally possible. We have not seen that. And C, even if reorgs happen, the collateral we take is USDC and USDT. So at the core, if you really think about it, in a case of a reorg, right? We can when the reorg is completed, right? The USDT and USDC will sort of a come out of the we can like use CCIP or like some of the standard wormhole techniques, bridging techniques to safeguard the collateral. D, which is even more important, is that if the chain reorgs, all the withdrawals on that particular chain would also fundamentally stop. Because, like, of course, the chain is reorging, so some of those elements will get reversed. So, of course, we'll have sufficient time to act on it, to create the right sort of safety net for users to withdraw on that chain. But at the core, what I want to say is that every platform has to fundamentally take this risk. It's not a risk as per se. I would just say that if the reorg happens, it's a risk across all lending, all sort of protocols, which the platform has to face. And, and to be honest, like on a single trade basis, we don't see that as a very, or as on a single chain basis, like our business is very well spread out. I don't see that as a big challenge at this point in time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for going through that. So, in terms of security, are you guys KYC audited, doxed, or something? Um, what is security like? So, what company, if you guys are audited or KYC, what companies are you guys audited with?
So the platform is audited by like multiple players, right? Of course, you can go on www.logx.network to check it out. So there you can see we are audited from Salus, we're audited from PeckShield, we're audited from CredShield. So we have with three public audits. Over and above that, we've also done like manual, bug bounty programs. And of course, the team is public. I do very public AMAs. In fact, like some of the other team members also do very public presences. Our team was there at 8 Denver. We would also be there at like token 2049. So we're like pretty public and pretty well connected in the ecosystem. And again, here to build for the long term, not trying to optimize for, a quick place. Essentially, our idea is to, like genuinely replace the exchange ecosystem and say that, hey, there is a better exchange possible out there that we can build, and there is no reason why it should not be built out, and there is no reason why the current sort of league of exchanges exist where they are very value extractive from consumers. We want to give value back to consumers. We want teams to come up and TG with us. That's why, as I said, we've kept a very public image, a very well-known image. Most of the players in the industry know us, and yeah, that's who we are.
Nice. And I also wanted to ask, we we know the issues of Oracle manipulations, attacks, and all of that. So, do you guys have like a specific protocols implemented to safeguard against these Oracle attacks? Or are there fallback mechanisms or multiple Oracle integrations to ensure data accuracy?
Absolutely. We do have like multiple oracles in place. We do have backup oracles also in place. And yeah, like I think Oracle issue is something which every trading platform has to solve for. And I can proudly say that we have personally done a lot of back-end work for that to solve the Oracle problem. So yeah, that's not a problem that we face whatsoever.
Interesting. So now let's move over to, I think we've been talking about the utility of the project on the back end. So let's go over to the token. So could you walk us through some use cases of the token in the LogX ecosystem?
I think at the core, the token is the native gas fee token of the LogX network. So on the network, right, like as I mentioned, Foundation pays for all the gas fees, and the gas fees is paid in dollar LogX. So I think that's kind of like if you think about what ETH is for Ethereum, what Solana is for Sol, LogX is for LogX network. I think that's the core biggest, your biggest sort of currency like utility on the platform. We offer like of course all the revenue generated on the platform is used to buy back the tokens, and then those buyback tokens are given back to stakers. So currently the staking APY is around 18-20%. So that's something which is like quite interesting that our users find very interesting. over and above that, we also do like very interesting partner giveaways, sort of, there's a surprise drop also that, the team is cooking, the foundation is cooking. And then essentially over and above that, the token will also be utilized very soon for trading itself as a collateral on the platform. So bunch of those use cases. And over and above that, of course, there are a bunch of, like liquidity farming use cases. With Aerodrome, we have partnered up and they brought in like a very interesting high aero emission liquidity pool. On Radium also, we are live. The token is live. Of course, on all centralized exchanges, a bunch of them well-known ones, we're live. But at the core, I think the utility for the token is very evolving. And then our goal always remains to be, as a community, as a LogX community, our goal always remains to be getting more and more feedback on the token sort of utility and adding more and more functionalities to it so that, at the core, it has more more sort of use cases, more sort of utility attached to it.
Yeah, you're right. So, about the governance, is there like a minimum or a maximum an investor needs to hold to be a part of the governance? And is there like a limit of amount of individuals? And if this governance should, is it already incorporated in your system or is still something you guys are looking forward to have?
No, I think like to be honest with you, the governance program is there, and then there's no issue whatsoever, right? And you just need to be a staker. Even if you stake one logix, you are a partner with us with the governance ecosystem. And then even if you have like four, then also you're a partner with the governance ecosystem. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire like state of the business right now.
Okay, okay. So now for the staking, regarding the staking rewards, how do you guys ensure sustainable reward distribution without leading to excessive token inflation? And are there mechanisms to adjust staking yields based on the platform usage metrics or other economic indicators?
Right. So this is the most interesting one. The most interesting point here, or the most interesting logic here is there is no inflation whatsoever that happens because of LogX staking program. There's like the inflation is none, it's close to zero. And the only reason for that, or the most important, the most important reason for that is that uh,
I think we lost you there. Are you there?
yeah, I'm saying, yeah, essentially, see, the most important criteria for us for governance is you should be a staker on the platform.
Okay. I also wanted to ask in regards because you mentioned the governance too. So I wanted to ask, how do you guys balance the tokens utility to prevent potential conflicts between its use as a transactional medium and a governance tool? Did you get my question?
No, no, I think I didn't follow your question. Can you please repeat? I think I didn't get
Okay,
it
so
fully.
I was asking that we just talked about the token use case included in the governance aspect. So I was asking, how do you guys um how do you guys balance the token's utility to prevent potential conflicts between its use as a transactional medium and a governance tool?
Oh, got it, got it. So essentially, see, I think there's a two-way flow of value here, which is essentially, the token can be used for a lot of things in the platform as well, which is, as I mentioned, as a collateral, as like a bunch of other things. And at the same time, all the governance proposals that come out, you can use the token if you're a staker to take part in the entire play. So I think that's how it is, which is pretty standard with a lot of other projects. I think the only interesting or the most interesting part with LogX is that we share a lot of all the revenue that is there. Like for example, let's say all the trading volume that happens, all the fees that is generated after paying solvers, referral fees and whatnot, whatever 100% of the revenue that is left, that is like totally given out to users. That's how this entire thing, like at the core happens.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So I think one interesting thing that I saw while I was reading about what you guys are offering is the fact that you guys boast about the capability to process over 30,000 transactions per second with approximately 100 MS latency. So, can you provide insight into the underlying infrastructure or technologies that enables such high performances? And how does the platform maintain these metrics under peak load conditions?
So I think one of the biggest optimizations we have done at the tech level is transaction batching. So it's called, parallel transaction batching, wherein if let's say order one comes in and order two comes in, of course the timestamps for those orders are stored in the smart contracts, but at the same time those orders are processed at the same time, even though the timestamps are different. What that enables is that there is near real-time response on the chain, or near real-time response on the network. And then the next guy who's coming in or the next order that is coming in is not congested. So that creates like this unique economic model that nobody else has in the market, as I mentioned. And that ensures that the transaction speed is like phenomenally well. It's incredibly fast. And then I think over and above that, we have written a lot of our services in backend languages like Go, which support multi-threading and multi-threading, which support high throughput from the get-go. That's the same language in which a resemblance of that language is what Solana is written in. So that's what I would say. Like fundamentally, that ties into the core utility of LogX as well, wherein you get access to a network, a chain, which is as fast as Solana. But probably like the biggest element there is the experience is gasless. The experience is order of magnitudes better than Solana because of the permission nature of deploying sort of different key products on the network which are custom designed for the network itself.
Interesting. And I think one more thing I would like us to cover before I open the floor to the community is how are you guys in terms of marketing and also what you guys are trying to do to build a strong community? Because for every project you need a community to back it up. So how are you guys able to reach your target audience and those who really understands what you guys are building and having them all together in your community to strive the project forward?
So see, I think like the biggest element in this entire equation, or the biggest thing in this entire equation is we try to be very genuine. I think we try to be very authentic. That's something which has helped us a lot in building a lot of trust with our users. I think we also take a lot of decisions which are very long term in nature, wherein building out the stack very very nicely rather than like just doing a lot of incentive programs and whatnot. That builds a lot of trust in our users. And see, I think we have also been notorious enough, degen enough to bring a lot of very very exciting markets, very very exciting pre-market offering, very very exciting spot offering. In fact, sometimes we list spot slightly before, let's say, Binance or OKX itself. So I think like these combination of these degen things coupled with a lot of trust is what like enables our users to like really put their neck out there for us, really like sort of really like what we are doing. And yeah, that's the reason I think like our marketing has been doing well, our sort of outreach has been doing well. But at the core, I'll be honest with you, we do less of marketing. We do more of product building, product sort of product evangelism, which creates like these genuine traders. Because my view is very straightforward. We don't want a million users. We want like 1,000 users who really love us, and then those users are gonna spread the word out there. to bring the next million users. So they're going to be our core, I would say, marketing people versus, let's say, anything else in this entire like sort of equation.
Nice. So do you guys currently have any partnerships with maybe organizations or real life companies? And what kind of partnerships are you looking to have? Probably with projects that have similar utilities like you guys.
So there are a bunch of very interesting partnerships that are coming up. Like one of the bigger ones is that we have partnered with EigenLayer, and that's a 250K Eigen, which is like again depending upon market conditions, anywhere between $500,000 to $1 million sort of incentive campaign where we've partnered up with EigenLayer. We're going to be using EigenD and a bunch of other things. So that's one thing that's going to go live pretty soon. Second, we are also partnering up with a lot of other players in the industry, like sort of Espresso, Arbitrum, we've already partnered with Hyperlane and a bunch of other folks. So we're bringing these very exciting offerings. Over and above that, we are also very soon expanding in the RWA space. That space is something which has really excited us. So while of course we are sort of building on the core vision of LogX, we're also going to expand the entire like sort of LogX ecosystem or LogX group of products into something much bigger than that. So of course, I can't share much about it right now, but that's something which is also cooking in the back end.
Nice. So I think at this junction, is it okay to, is that something you still want to say, or you're okay to open the community questions, like taking in some questions from
Yeah,
the
would love to,
community?
would love to talk to the community and then answer questions. I think that should be awesome.
Okay, interesting. Okay, let's have Greek. Greek, you have been unmuted. You can ask the question now.
All right. Thank you very much, Moonshine. Hi, Budia. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well. Um, it's possible you probably don't remember me, but the first time I'd spoken to you before, I think this was sometimes in 2023. I think LogX was pretty new. It was either you had just launched or you were about to launch. It was on a Twitter space. My team was building something quite similar. So there was a joint AMA. You talked about LogX. And, when I saw the notification for the LogX AMA on GOLDDIGGERS, I was pretty excited because I had been following your progress passively, you know, we kind of set out around the same time to build. I don't know how long you had been building LogX for, but we had spoken. I think it was probably in June or in May of 2023. And my team was building something similar at the time. We failed. Our product failed. It never just gained traction. LogX was successful. You guys ended up raising what, 6, 7 million, and you guys have done over 20 billion, in volume since then up until now. I'm actually very excited, talking to you. You can see the excitement seeping through. So, as a as a successful builder to a failed builder, what do you think helped LogX, gain all of this traction? You probably have talked about it, but in the context of customer acquisition, getting people to use your product, because LogX isn't the only decentralized perpetual product on the market, but you guys seem to be one of the ones that are ahead. So when it comes to customer acquisition, is it product dependent? Is it the team? What works or what worked for LogX?
Got it. First of all, like really appreciate you, coming up on the podium and asking the question. I know like I really appreciate people who have been together with us, who have seen our story because I think that shows the real sense of the effort that the team has put in. I'll answer your question more specifically. I think the thing that has worked for us very well is And then we have tried like honestly everything else on earth. To be honest with you, we've tried like ads, we have tried like KOS, we have tried like a different sort of marketing agencies. We have tried everything. I think the thing that works the best is in very simple terms, innovative product offering. You look at, for example, our pre-markets. We are the first ones to bring Beta Chain pre-market. We were the first ones to bring IP pre-markets. We were the first ones to bring a bunch of these exciting pre-markets. Even if, as I mentioned, like for example, some of the spot trading pairs we are launching, we are first. In fact, we are faster than, let's say, some of the best platforms like DYDX, Hyperliquid, and a bunch of other ones of them to launch these markets. Third thing that has worked for us, like in general, like to be very honest with you, just a product offering nobody else is offering and is very much wanted by the market. It's very tough to know and crack, but we've been on the fortunate side of it to crack that multiple times. In fact, like if you recall, we were the first ones to bring leveraged prediction markets, wherein like you could take a 20x long or short on Donald Trump or winning or losing the election. So we have done like all of those elements, right? And I think like as the compounding effect of that, the platform has worked well. Users like our product, and we are very slowly. Of course, we are not. To be honest with you, I would not categorize us as a very successful team because our success criteria is 100x bigger from here. Our success criteria is not 25 billion. Our success criteria is $25 trillion of trading volume on the platform. So I think we're still getting there. We're still like probably a 1%, 2% there. But we need to, like get there by doing like tons and tons of more hard work, tons and tons of more innovation. And then I think the catch here is, as I mentioned, amongst all the other platforms, the only reason LogX is being used very actively is purely because like we have like these amazing offerings, and then to be honest the product just works. I have not seen any other product in the market which works as well as LogX. I think that also like speaks a lot and speaks like tons and tons about the product itself.
Yeah, amazing response. Amazing response. Um, I would ask, probably two more questions. I wouldn't want to hog up the mic. I'm super excited speaking to you. Just more because I understood the genesis story of LogX. Because we had spoken prior, I listened to you. We had been on a joint me sometimes in 2023. Um, in 2023, the market we have now, in 2024, in 2020, now in 2025, is quite different from, what we had in 2023, and I believe we had been building prior to 2023. Um, so how were you able to, navigate that market, seeing that it was pretty bearish? It was quite hard for new builders. It was quite hard for new products. Um, how did you guys? And I don't think you guys didn't you guys didn't raise funds until probably later in 2023 or later in 2024. So how were you guys able to just dig deep? Just dig deep, keep building, and get to the point where you are now. The second question would be, uh, when we were building at the time, we stuck to one chain. We were building on Stacknet at the time, and then we just wanted to, because Stacknet was new at the time, and then we thought it was going to be the huge thing. But looking at LogX, you guys are chain agnostic. You allow users to be able to, use USDT or USDC collateral across multiple chains. How have you been able to, work around moving, the liquidity across multiple chains, effectively? I hope that makes sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I think like couple of quick answers to your questions. I think like the liquidity movement is not that tough. Like the core architecture itself, like disburses profits on a particular chain, takes in fees from any chain that you come in from. So that's not like very tough. Like I think thinking about the architecture was very tough. We've thought about like at least 30 iterations of the same thing over a period of 9 months. Then we landed on the right one, and now it's a very clean in term architecture in terms of execution and movement. So that's clear. The bigger thing is, I think building in the bear market, like I have no silver, I have no golden bullets, I have no beautiful answers. The only answer is I genuinely find playing with the core financial aspect of the asset and really tweaking the financial elements of the equation and building a new product. Like same goes for example, we are the first ones in the market to bring this, multi-chain USDC, USDT, and now it's going to be, Ethereum and BTC support as well, to the platform. Everything cross collateral, cross margin, across spot, options, pre-markets, and spot. My sense is more teams will do it like 2, 3 years down the line. We are like just like, probably the best product out there, way too early in the market. That's why I think like I like playing with this financial aspect of the game. And then the more we are playing with the financial design of the game, which was never ever available anyplace else in TradFi, where I used to work before for years and years. I think like to me, this is way too exciting. It's like you've given Lego blocks to of the financial market to a kid, and the kid is too enthusiastic to play with it. I think like that's a similar case with me and the team, and because of that, we don't care about bull market, bear market. In fact, like to be honest with you, I'll go a step further. We don't give a shit about bull market or bear market. All we care about is what is the next exciting product we can build, and the markets will take care of themselves. It's like the way I think about this is it's the market's fault if it is not there, or it's the market's benefit if it is there. Our job is not to care about it. Our job is to just do what we like doing and what we want to do. And then as we keep on doing that, the market will come and reward us if we are lucky and the rightful owner of that. So I think yeah, that's what I think about it. No silver bullets, nothing. Just find this interesting. Just doing something which is like more of an exciting uh, play in this phase of my life.
Yeah, perfect response, but yeah, I'm super excited about what you guys have done. You guys have built out an amazing product. It is 100 times better than the first time I had seen it in 2023. And
Thank you
you
so
guys are
much.
doing. I think it's just going to be a matter of time before you guys hit the first $1 trillion volume milestone. So, congratulations. Thank you for answering my questions, and good luck, guys.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate all the questions. I think like again, thank you for being a follower. Thank you for being a product user since day one.
Thank you so much, Greek, for jumping on the mic. I really appreciate that. And I think that was a nice one there too as well. So I think next person I muted was Annabelle. Annabelle, you can ask the question now. You have been unmuted. So mute your mic to ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. So my question is, how does LogX handle funding rate calculations to maintain price stability between perpetual contracts and spot prices?
So it's a very simple formula. I think I know why I understand the question also, which is like our docs are slightly outdated right now, so it does not cover the exact formula. I'll mention the formula, but yeah, like the new docs are like work in progress. They should be out anytime soon in the next 10 days. The team was too busy shipping more products, so they couldn't update the docs. But in very simple terms, it's a simple formula, which is like the OI imbalance uh, uh, in the direction of the OI balance, there's a factor which is multiplied, and then that's how the prices are sort of, higher or lower. This is very different from traditional order book style offering. The reason for that is because in order books, technically what the exchanges are doing is they themselves are, in many cases, they themselves are market makers on perps. So they hold the spot asset by design on the books, and that's where like the funding rate formula which you see works very very well. In fact, like even if it does not, let's say amongst a set of market makers, it works very well. In our case, since the platform is solver based, OI based imbalances work the best, purely because there can be certain sort of exposure that can kick in on the solver, or let's say in multiple cases on the insurance fund of the platform itself, which the OI imbalance formula funding rate based funding rate helps cater to. So yeah, that's how it is set up. In very simple terms, if longs are more
Oh,
than
okay. Thank you very
shorts,
much.
if longs are more than shorts, then longs will like have to pay more to shorts.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Annabelle, for that question. So let's have David. David, you have been unmuted. You can ask a question now. David, you have to unmute your mic to ask a question. Okay, while we wait for David, let's see. Let's have Victor Noble. You can ask a question.
Good evening, Moonshine. You can hear me.
I can
So
hear
my
you.
so my question is, good evening, hi, Bodia. So my question is, how does LogX leverage AI or machine learning? Does it leverage on AI or machine learning for predictive market analysis? And if so, what models or data points are prioritized?
So it's a very exciting question and a very interesting question. In fact, I have a very well-equipped R&D team working on this inside LogX. Essentially, we're building something called as Lumix. It's going to be the first AI agent which can be your autopilot for trading perp, spot, pre-market, and options automatically. And I think that's something which, is in the works. The team is working on that. And essentially, more research is going into that. It's not something which is going to happen in a day or two, because we are talking about financial transactions here. We're talking about consumers' money, consumers' funds here. So yeah, that's what I would honestly say, which is essentially we have this product offering, and then this product offering is going to roll out as the team sort of the R&D team does like more research on this front. So yeah, that's all I have. But yeah, the use cases are very exciting. I'll give you a very specific case. Imagine there is like going to be liquidation of a particular user that would be avoided like dynamically using this particular tech. So yeah, as I said, the possibilities are a lot, but the team is like still doing the R&D on this to get the product out.
Oh, thank you. That was very helpful. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Given the 100x leverage, what real-time risk controls are in place to prevent cascading liquidation, and how does LogX handle partial liquidation mechanism to protect traders from full liquidation due to high volatility? Thank you.
So, couple of things. A, we do not offer 100x leverage for the precise reason you mentioned. We have capped the cap, even though it like causes us, or not so great business. It's not a very good business deal. I think it's a very good moral deal that we have taken, where we do not offer more than 20x leverage on the platform. So that's one. Second is liquidations. I think like the way we sort of trigger or sort of curb liquidations is we take the best exchange price for liquidation. What does that mean? Imagine if you're long, then technically on exchange one, if there's a the Bitcoin price is like let's say $80,000, and on exchange two the price is going to be 81. for your liquidation, I'm going to take 81, the platform. Imagine if I'm the platform tech. The tech is going to take 81 as the price for you so that you get liquidated lesser amount of times compared to any other platform out there. So I think that's sort of the biggest offering that we have, and that is something which is the largest, I would say, USP that the platform has. I know we have not been able to market it a lot, but yeah, that's something which nobody else, I would say, offers in the market that we offer.
All right, thank you very much. This information was very insightful and very, very helpful. So thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yeah, you're welcome, Ken Kels. Thank you for throwing in that question. So I think lastly, let's just have Jeremiah. Okay, Davin, you're here. So Davin, you can ask the question now.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I
Yeah.
can. Moonshine, I think uh, I think this is the last question I might be able to take because I have to hop on to another call. But yeah, Damon, like happy to get your question.
Okay, thank you. Now, although LogX plans to introduce a diverse range of trading products, including real-world assets and pre-market, now, how does the platform handle the tokenization and complex aspects of the RWA, especially concerning very regulatory requirements across jurisdictions?
So it's a very important question, and that is exactly what I mentioned when I said it's cooking, wherein I think we have to design a lot of custom smart contracts, wherein the regulations would be replicated on the platform itself. It's going to be a very exciting journey. Like the reason I say that is because our engineers are very, very excited for this. And imagine like a lot of government rules wherein you can't do X, you can't do Y with particular deals. All of that is going to happen on chain through custom smart contracts. So we're going to be the first platform to do so. Everybody else who has, like tried to tokenize RWA, they've just tokenized it. But we're going to tokenize the issuance rules as well, which is very, very hard, as you rightly mentioned. And then, as I said, like that tech is going to take at least, if not more, than an year to build to get the right product out there, which is like very much compliant.
Thank you very
Did I
much.
answer
Really
your
appreciate
question? Okay. Thank you. I think that's all the question we take for today's AMA. But yeah, it was a very interesting section with you. And I think we're able to touch and cover different aspects that you guys plan to offer and what is also outlined in your roadmap. So with that, I wouldn't want to keep you much on the call. So I'll be ending the recording. But do you have any final words you'd like to say or any concluding statements before I end the recording?
The only thing I want to say is that to be to be very, very honest, uh, like to be very, very honest and to be very, very clear with the entire situation. Uh, the biggest element in this entire sequence of things is that crypto markets go up and down. But what is important is to like really build the right product, really do right by the users, and that is what the ethos of LogX is. It's built based on trust. It's built based on like building very high quality tech, and we'll keep on doing so for years to come. And that's all I want to say with it to everyone.
Yeah, so thank you so much. It was nice having you on the mic. And you guys have something great going on. And we hope maybe months after now we have you guys again at GOLDDIGGERS to give us an update on how far you guys have gone. But guys, do well to join the socials, the Telegram, follow them on X, because that is where you get updates about LogX. So with that, thank you so much once again. And thank you also much for the questions that were asked. So see you guys in the next AMA. Bye.
Okay, bye bye. Thank you so much.
Bye.